Hello and welcome. My name is Nicole Lakovic, and I'm an involvement advisor in the Student Activities Involvement and Leadership Office here on campus. Today, we're going to be going over the section of officer training regarding event planning. So, the purpose of this training is to familiarize student leaders with the student organization event planning processes. So, by the end of these slides, the student leader should be able to submit an event request using PointSync, identify key stakeholders in the event planning process, contact CES through PointSync. They should know the proper policies for food at events, determine whether media services or sale media will need to be used for their event, request media services, and submit requests for both print materials and digital signage. So what is CES? So CES stands for Conference and Event Services, and it's the department on campus that partners with on-campus and off-campus affiliates to host and plan events on campus. CES works closely with student organizations to approve on-campus events and to ensure the success of their events. So for your student organization, your event coordinator is Maggie McCauley. There's her email. You can be in contact with her. So submitting an event request. So before submitting, please note that all event, table, and meeting requests must be submitted at least 10 business days in advance. So to do this, you log on to PointSync, you navigate to your organization's portal, click Manage Organization at the top of the page, click the three-lined menu in the upper left-hand corner of the site, and then you click Events in the drop-down menu under Organizational Tools, click Create Event, and then follow the form to request your event table or meeting space. You want to make sure that you select anyone in the world when it asks you who can see the event. That way it populates onto the events page and campus can see it. When it lets you upload an image for your event, please do so. If not, the calendar just looks sad and boring. And if you have any more questions about this, you can check out our other video that goes into detail showing you how to submit an event request. So the approval process for this event request. After you submit the event, these are the steps to follow. So to view if the event is denied or approved, check your emails. You'll get PointSync notifications through there. Click your initial in the top right corner on your PointSync profile. In the drop-down menu, click Submissions and then select the Event tab. And click on the event to find status, approved or denied, and any comments from SAIL or CES. So if your event gets denied and you're not really sure why, these are a few reasons as to why it could have been denied. It could be the concept and appropriateness of your event, if it wasn't booked 10 plus days in advance, and if 3 different dates and locations were not submitted. But if your event is approved, these are your next steps. You order supplies through SAIL for your event, and you can see the purchasing guidelines in another video. You can check to make sure all information for the event is correct on the event calendars on PointSync, because sometimes we make mistakes. If information needs updated, please be sure to email the SAIL office so we can update that for you. Next, your organization will be provided with the specific event capacity when your space is confirmed. We'll go into more detail about these new COVID policies, but just remember that there are specific event capacities for rooms on campus and that your club members who are staffing the event do count toward this number. So like I said, we'll be getting more into the COVID-19 policies in the next couple of slides. So just keep in mind that these policies are subject to change and any federal, state, local, or university mandates will be observed in conjunction with these policies. So first, the new event policies. So there will be no in-person events permitted after Thanksgiving break due to the planned remote learning at the end of the semester. Masks will be required at all events per university policy. and events with significant numbers of unmasked attendees will be ended immediately. Attendees must maintain social distancing guidelines, so 6 feet of space between each guest. And the organizers should plan the events that minimize the number of students mingling or wandering or standing in line in order to accommodate safe social distancing practices. Event attendance will be capped at the university mandated capacity of the rooms. So, like I said before, your organization will be provided with the specific event capacity when your space is confirmed. Club members staffing the event do count towards that number. There must be at least one person at the door counting people entering and leaving the event, and a student organization found violating the room capacity for an event will lose their privilege to reserve space for the remainder of the semester. No external guests will be permitted to attend any events, and please be advised that the sale office has the responsibility to deny any event request or cancel any previously approved event that is deemed too great of a risk to the campus community. Here are some new meeting policies that go along with our updated COVID-19 policies. In an effort to ensure that space availability for all organizations, campus departments, and their functions, student organizations must host meetings virtually, except in the instance when there is a circumstance that requires a physical presence of members. Recurring meetings will not be scheduled during the fall 2020 semester, and all in-person meetings will need to be requested individually following the above guidelines. There will be no in-person meetings permitted after Thanksgiving break due to the planned remote learning at the end of the semester. Any in-person meetings may not exceed the university mandated capacity of the reserved space. So your organization will be provided with the room capacity once again. A student organization who is violating the room capacity limit for a meeting will lose their privilege to reserve space for the remainder of the semester. And as similar to the events, there must be at least one person at the in-person meetings counting people entering and leaving the event. For tabling policies, the sale office will not sponsor tabling efforts for external organizations, and student organizations may not host external events on campus for tabling efforts. Student organizations are permitted to host tabling efforts themselves that distribute paper materials on behalf of external organizations if they believe that it supports their club's mission. All items that are distributed at tables, so papers, packaged food, etc., it should all be made available for passerby to pick up themselves and not handed out by table staff. And lastly, the student organizations hosting tables are asked to maintain proper social distancing, so at least 6 feet between those working the table and those stopping at the table. Along with all these new event, meeting, and tabling policies comes with new food policies. So food at events should be restricted to individually wrapped items for students to leave the event with. Food and drink consumption at events will be limited to events where attendees are seated and served plated food by trained staff. If planning an event with food, it should be central to the event's purpose. So for an example, a banquet. And any food at events must be commercially prepared. Food distributed at tables must be individually packaged and prepared commercially, so popsicles, bags of chips, individually wrapped candy, etc., and any baked goods must be prepared and individually packaged by the retailer. If you need to place a catering order through Culinart, you can contact the sale office and we can guide you in the right direction with how to do so. When it comes to media at your event, media rentals through the sale office will be by appointment only this year. If your event setup occurs before the sale office closes, the student organization will be responsible for making an appointment to come to the office and pick the media equipment up. If your event occurs after the sale office closes, an involvement advisor will set up the equipment for the organization and retrieve the equipment at the end of the organization's event. And all media rentals and equipment will be sanitized well in between each uses. Media services will be more limited than it has been in the past. The CES coordinator will ask what you need from them for your event, and then we'll contact them on your behalf. But if you can use the sale media equipment, that is more recommended for this semester. So, advertising for your events. You have a couple different signage options. So you have digital signage, which is your event or meeting advertisement that will appear on the digital signboards in Lawrence Hall, Academic Hall, West Penn, the University Center, and the Student Center. And then you also have some print options, which are hot cards, flyers, posters, stickers, door hangers, etc. Anything from the print shop. These are just a couple of the sizes for formatted images so that you just make sure that everything looks to its best quality. And then when it comes to submitting a request, you log into PointSync and you navigate the sale portal, scroll to Forms and select View All, select Digital Print and Advertisement Request Form. Once the form opens, fill in the pertinent information. So posting guidelines are a little bit different this year in the fact that all clubs will post their own posters. Normally the sale office gave you the option that we would post it for you, but due to COVID, we are recommending that all clubs post everything themselves. Just keep in mind that posters cannot contain nudity, profanity, alcohol, tobacco, or any other drugs or offensive material. And there are approved posting areas, the What's Going On bulletin boards. We have a list of those things in the sale office and located on PointSync. All your posters must be approved and stickered by the sale office, and any posters without a sale sticker will be removed. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to the sale office and we can answer those for you.